Hi guys, welcome to another video here on my channel. For those of you that are new, my name is Lakia and welcome to the Chaotic Critic family. For my returning subscribers, welcome back. Here on my channel, I share planning and organizational videos, plus so much more over on my blog, chaoticcritic.com. The link is always in the description box. Today's video is another one in my memory planning themed week. I have shared so far 3 videos. I first shared building my WrestleMania memory planner from start to finish. I also shared how I do memory planning inside of my bullet journals and ideas on that. And then the third one I shared was a what's in my bag on the go. And what better time to share that than this week, because a lot of those things are my essentials that I'm using right now as I am using various planners and doing a lot of journaling along the way. So, is there really a difference between memory planning and journaling? I think with memory planning, it's not as in-depth as journaling. And journaling, some people don't see that as adding decorative touches and things like that. But I wanted to fuse those together and share with you guys 2 journals that I have and why I consider it memory keeping. So, this one is currently empty. So I'm going to start with this one. My idea for this one is to create lists of all the TV shows that I have ever loved. And this could also include movies and things like that. I wanted to have that in one central location. I got this idea after I got this idea because this one is all about the music that I love. So I was like, why not write about all the shows and movies that I love? And plus, I just watched Beyonce's Homecoming on Netflix, and Beyonce is like the greatest performer of our time. Like, her performance and the details that she puts into everything is just like, I'm always in awe. And plus, she dropped her Homecoming live album on top of that. I love a live album, a Beyonce live album specifically. But anyway, so that's what inspired me to use this one, because my grandmother gave it to me, and I have a lot of notebooks sitting on my shelf. I know I'm not the only one. So that's why I wanted to create this video in particular, to give you guys a little inspiration on how I'm using it and how you can use a notebook that's sitting on your shelf that we think are so cute. And I think the biggest thing about using a notebook is you don't want to mess up the pages. I have completely gotten over that fear at this point. It's like you start off and you don't want to mess up, but then as you start going on, it's like whatever. And the great thing about journaling is that if you don't like it, you can use white out, you can cross it out, or for all my planners out there, you can use a sticker. Okay, that easy. So this one is a Poppin brand notebook. It does have a band on it, and I added this little Hobby Lobby adhesive patch over here. So this one is going to be all about what I love to watch. And I mean, so I'm going to be taking it way back with this one. I'm going to write about not only shows that I love, movies that I love, and my thoughts on them. I'm also going to write about shows that I just couldn't get into that everybody is obviously obsessed with, such as Game of Thrones. I can't get into it, y'all. So all my Game of Thrones people out there, my best friend is like obsessed with Game of Thrones, and she really tried to get me into it, but I don't know. It's a lot of blood in Game of Thrones. And I'm also not the person that watched I like the show Shameless. I just haven't completely gotten into it. Like I've seen like half a season. I don't remember what season that was. Like a lot of the superhero shows like Arrow and Flash, and I did watch a season of Flash, but there's just a lot of things that I am not into that other people are. So I do want to journal about that. Like, what is it that made me not get into it, you know? But that's just my tidbit. So that's what's going to be going in there. Now this one, I first saw this one is from Target. And I think I saw this around Christmas time. It is a little beat up right now, but I love that. I love a worn in, broken in notebook. And it's the UB line, and it's put the needle to the record. They also had one that was a cassette tape, but I got this one. I'll show you guys what it looks like this. Like this. Is this not perfect to like make the soundtrack of your life? That's what I have labeled this notebook as. So I decided to create a notebook, and I've had multiple notebooks like this. and I continue to put my playlist into various planners of songs that I'm loving at the moment. But I was like, screw it. This is the perfect notebook. I'm going to put all of my music favorites inside of here. So it started with just albums that I loved from beginning to end, because that's very hard to come across now. And now I have playlists inside of here. I'm also going to be adding in an alternative rock one, which is going to have like Hoobastank, Foo Fighters. I have a Maroon 5 one in here, but basically songs that I would listen to on MTV when they played the morning videos from like 2003, 2004, that time. Evanescence. Gotta add that. So, for example, here's my Usher confessions list, okay? I write the artist, the album, the year, and at first I was writing the date that it came out, but as time went on, I just wrote the year. Actually, I need to add the year to some of these. So I have Alicia Keys in here, Beyonce, Miguel, Adele, Kanye West. The Greatest Showman soundtrack has made it inside of here. This was actually one of the most recent, when I started this notebook, this was one of the most recent things that I was listening to over and over. It's an amazing movie and soundtrack at the same time. So what do? I write the album. I highlight my favorite songs. I'll write in, if there's a specific moment from the album that I remember, then, you know, I will write about that. Like, for instance, the Usher Confessions album. Before Beyonce was doing videos for every single song, Usher Confessions 2004, 2005, once the ball dropped, there was like this mini movie that he had, and it was the Confessions album played out. I don't know if anybody else remembers that, but I do. In 2004, I was in the 7th grade. That was just a good time of music. So that's what I do there. I just highlight my favorites. I'll add in some stickers. Stickers that I'm using now that I love are these from Heidi Swap. I can just add these onto the page, and it's double the decoration. Well, it's double the function because it's decorative and I can write on it as well. So just makes the pages look a little bit cuter. So other albums, I talked about Adele. Adele's 21. Love that one. Trey Songz, an artist that is slept on a lot. Nobody really like. But then another thing with music, there's always that one album that the artist has, and then it's like, do they supersede that? Or, you know, do they fall off after that? There's always that one album. Always. So Kanye albums that I have in here, I love the Yeezus album. And out of the trio that he did first, the College Dropout, Late Registration, and Graduation. Graduation is my favorite. That one was in 2007. And then, of course, what's music without Beyonce? Beyonce 4 is my favorite Beyonce album. Like, I was actually one of the lucky people to get the album from Target and actually have the extra CD to it. That was like a thing back then when this album came out, that people weren't getting the double disc that Target was having. I Am Sasha Fierce, great, just great. I also added in wrestling theme songs that I like, but I'm also going to be transferring this over into my wrestling memory planner. It has WrestleMania stuff in it, but it's basically going to be my wrestling memory planner. A few recent ones that I added, Neo, and I mean recent as in within the last week or so. I sat up one night and I just literally went through iTunes and looked at all the music I used to purchase, because that was the thing. You used to purchase music, and all the CDs that I have. That's another thing I'm going to do, all the CDs that I own. So a lot of ideas are coming as I am hearing things on the radio, and it's taking me back to another time and reminding me of another song. So Neo's Because of You, I wrote it out, and then I just added in, you know, what I felt when I heard this album. And when I heard this Neo album back in 2007, I'll never forget sitting in my bedroom, and I just kept playing Because of You over and over and over and over. And I don't know, it just gives me a warm and fuzzy feeling. Like, it was just a good time. 2007 was a great year. it was a really great year. Miguel, All I Want Is You, and Kaleidoscope Dream. I love Miguel. And then The Dream, his Love Hate album in 2007. For those who don't know who The Dream is, he produced Beyonce's, well, I don't know if he produced it, but he was a part of the whole Single Ladies team there. So his Love Hate album I love. Then we get into like making the band and stuff like that Diddy had. He had the band, then he had Danity Kane, and then he had Day 26. I love a solid R&B group, like male or female. I love solid singing. I love the harmonies. It's nothing like R&B to me. And Day 26, this was an underrated album. They did not get the respect that they deserved, but Day 26, their self-titled album in 2008 was great. Then there was another one that I liked, Brother. They were called Brother because they were a group of brothers. I think it was like 4 or 5 of them, and they had a show on BET. So this album, love that one. More Trey songs. Obviously the artists are not all together in here, but I don't really care. It's whatever. Aaliyah's self-titled album in 2001. Now, when it comes to some of my albums that I used to own, my sister and I used to share a room, and I had like the Word Up posters on the wall, and I had my little music collection, and my sister's friends would take my CDs. Like, they were savages, okay? My sister is 6 years older than me, and her friends would come in and take my CDs. I don't understand why. So the Aaliyah self-titled album 2001, the one that came out right before she died, it's an amazing album, but I also need to repurchase it. Alright, then we got Beyonce, more Beyonce. Alicia Keys. I love Alicia Keys. My favorite album of hers is As I Am, and the 2 songs that I would say that are up there for me are Lesson Learned featuring John Mayer, and then Tell You Something. I love finding songs on an album that are not the radio hits and they resonate with you, so that's that. And then, like, compilation albums, I have the Ultimate Toni Braxton, Whitney Houston, and then I had to add in the Rihanna Unapologetic album. That's my favorite Rihanna album, and I'm kind of biased because I went to the Diamonds World Tour back in 2013, so I just love it. And then a couple days ago, I added in Chrisette Michelle's Epiphany, again with the R&B. Like, I love it. And then in the back, I have some lists. Like, I have my 2017, 2016, 2015, 2014. So I literally just write it out and I highlight what is most important to me on the album. I also have my Maroon 5 favorites from all the albums that they've done. I just wrote in my favorite songs. So that is that. That is how I am using 2 notebooks. Well, this is how I'm using this one that I found at Christmas, around Christmas time. But this one that was sitting on my shelf, I found a purpose for it. So that is how I am journaling, and it goes in the same boat as memory keeping, because I'm adding in the memory of what I felt when that album or that song came out. Now, if you want more structure and you're not into, all the, I don't have time to write everything out, you need ideas. This is a book called List Yourself, List Making as the Way to Self-Discovery. My friend gave me this as a Christmas present one year. And there's different sections such as yourself, change, business, daily life, men and women, health, growing up. And they tell you ways in which you can use this book. But my biggest recommendation is when you're writing these lists to just write the date in which you did it, so that when you're looking back at it, you'll know the mindset and the time frame in which you wrote it. And these kinds of books you can use whenever. You don't have to, sit down and force yourself to do it. It could be a part of your morning routine if you're looking for something to write about every morning and makes you think back. It could also bring up things that you've suppressed and that you really didn't want to think about anymore, but you are now dealing with it. So I wanted to share this with you guys because I found it very therapeutic for me to not just, plan and memory plan in my planners, but to make use of these and it really takes me back, and I'm just, it's a lot of good vibes inside of here. But there's also, you know, some sad songs inside of here that, you know, give me some not so pleasant memories, but it's all helping me work out the stuff that I have inside. So this is very therapeutic for me, and I wanted to share that with you guys in this series in particular. So that wraps it up for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'd love to hear from you in the comments how you use those notebooks that are sitting on your shelf. I'd love more ideas because I have more on my shelf that need to be used. Let me know what you guys listen to. Let me know what you guys love to watch. I'd love to interact with you guys in the comments section. Of course, be sure to check out my blog, chaoticcritic.com, as well as my Instagram at chaoticcritic. Both are linked in the description box. If you would like to see more, give this video a thumbs up. I would love for you guys to join the Chaotic Critic family, so click that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye!